Mr. Gropey was found dead, but just this morning, a man accused of murdering Mr. Gropey was killed via electric chair. Just as we took a moment of silence from Mr. Gropey last month, we would like to do the same for Jefferson right now. In order to glean the overall moral of the event, we'll hear from a few people this morning, starting with two of the closest to the deceased. We have here Miss Emma, Jefferson's godmother, and Miss Gropey, the wife of the deceased Mr. Gropey. Ladies, please tell us, from your perspective, what happened that night.
It was a tragic event.
He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I'm scarred from it.
I still can't believe it happened.
He was in the store
He was in a store
when an innocent man's life was changed forever.
when an innocent man's life was forever changed.
We deserve justice.
We deserve justice.
It's just not fair.
None of this was supposed to happen.
Jefferson was framed for murder.
My husband was murdered. There's always two sides to every story, and in this case, they're more similar than one might initially believe. Next, the night of Mr. Gropey's death, Jefferson was spotted fleeing from the crime scene. Earlier, we interviewed a witness and asked what makes him sure that Mr. Gropey was killed by Jefferson.
Oh, I saw him do it myself. He had some money stashed in his jacket and in one hand a bottle of whiskey, and he was making a run for it too, and would have succeeded if it weren't for my friend and I. You know, maybe he was drunk or scared or stupid, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed a virtuous man like Mr. Grope. He's an animal, a lion. He ripped apart his enemies and then carried on without a single qualm. And even if he was innocent, he deserves to die anyways. He robbed a dead man. What kind of person even does that?
Thank you so much. Next, we interviewed the lawyer that defended Jefferson in court and asked him why he thought that Jefferson was innocent.
First of all, there's no proof. Jefferson may have been seen in the store, however, he was not seen killing Mr. Gropey, nor was he seen holding any sort of weapon. That boy I emphasize, might have stolen some money, robbed the cash register, and tried to run, but he didn't kill anybody. He was stupid. He couldn't read, write, or even answer simple questions. There's no way a boy like him could plan a murder. He may have been a fool, a hog, and an idiot, but he was innocent for sure. And if he was guilty, how does killing him make anything better?
Two very different points. The gravity of a verdict and execution like this always goes beyond those who were immediately affected. To get a sense of how those who weren't necessarily close with Jefferson reacted, we interviewed Paul, the sheriff that attended to Jefferson, and a bricklayer who was recently involved in a fight with Jefferson's teacher. Paul, tell us, what do you think of Jefferson's punishment?
I don't think he deserved it. Jefferson's punishment shouldn't have been death. A life sentence in prison is punishment enough. Working in a jail cell, I've seen firsthand what prison can do to someone. It drives them to madness, dehumanizing them to such an extent. Life in prison is enough punishment for anyone. The death sentence hurts Jefferson's family and friends too. I saw them come in, always bringing food and sitting and talking to him regardless of his response. Even on his bad days, they stayed for the full hour and kept trying to get through to him. As a sheriff, I try to distance myself emotionally from someone with a death sentence because it makes it easier if I keep my personal and work lives separate. But Jefferson's case was different, and going through this changed me. I don't ever want to go back to being the person I was before. I don't ever want to forget Jefferson.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from another person with strong feelings about the case.
He was a hog, just a stupid black man that deserves to die. I wish I could have killed him myself. Jefferson deserved immediate death. He murdered an innocent, upstanding man. Think about it. What if it was your husband, your father, your son? He didn't deserve to live another day, let alone another month. I'm glad I'm not associated with any black, cold-blooded murderer like Jefferson. He's just the same as all the rest of his kind.
It is obvious that tensions are running high in this town, with everyone voicing their opinions. We can only hope no more violence is brought about. We would like you all to keep the friends and family of Jefferson and Mr. Gropey in your prayers. That's all for tonight. Check back with us tomorrow night at 7 to receive more coverage on this case. I'm Charlie, and this is News 12.